personally, Mike Parcel. He was the Toastmasters immediate past district governor, in charge of over 200 clubs all the way from San Francisco down to Monterey Bay, comprising of over 4,000 members. Outside of Toastmasters, he is also the co-founder of Speakers Consortium, and he's also a speech coach for business executives. Please join me in welcoming the Bay Area's public speaking guru, Mike Parcel.
All right, we're going to try how my voice works, and if we need a microphone, I do have it at ready, but I prefer to let my voice travel through the room. If you can't hear me, you raise your hand and let me know, all right, because I'm talking to you. All right, now here we go. Now, you know, I love these introductions because don't they just precede you into the room? When I hear these introductions, I think, I want to meet that person. And then they say my name, and I go, really? Really? You came here to see me? Well, all right. I want to tell you, about 2.5 years ago, I was a newly minted Lieutenant Governor of Education and Training for Toastmasters. And one of the division governors called me and said, would you give a keynote at my officer training? There'll be about 150 people there. And I said yes. Then I went to the dictionary to look up what keynote meant, because I didn't know what that was. And I read the definition, and I thought, well, I can do that, I think. So I prepared something, but I didn't know I was supposed to be serious. So I started talking about my nephew, Stephen. Now, my nephew, Stephen, we're so proud of him and our family. He's 32 years old. Now, some of you may relate to this story. He called me one day and he said, you know, Mike, I have a major realization. He works for an aeronautics company in Arizona. He said, do you know that there are people on the planet who are younger than I am? That my company is hiring them? That they have greater skills in some instances because they're just out of college? They can work harder and they'll work cheaper. And I said, whoa, radical. Holy cow. What are you going to do about that, Stephen? And he goes, I don't know. I'm going to think about it. You let me know. You let me know. Because these people will take over your job. So he called me back about 2 weeks later. He said, I have the solution. I'm joining Toastmasters. I realized I need to work on my speaking skills. And I said, great idea. Can't imagine where he got that idea from. So he joined Toastmasters and he took on that project. He took on that initial manual, 10 speeches. He knocked those out in about 8 months. And he told me that as a result of that, he was appointed by his company to represent his company in Berlin, South America, and Japan, because now he can speak. He isn't just the guy in the back room doing the plans. He can present the passion and the vision and the dynamic future of their company to their customers. This is great. So from time to time, I always have to update you on Stephen. And Stephen has just been promoted. He's in charge of all global interactions for their company. And he credits Toastmasters, his communication skills. Now, not being one to let him off easy, I said, well, what do you do about your leadership skills? Because that's communication skills. What about leadership skills? Because you know, leadership, I tell you, the entire world is hungry for leadership. And I know that when you send your resume into an organization, the human resource directors, they are looking for one key word. I always ask them, I said, what are you looking for? Because I know my friends are the ones who have invented some of this software that are the screens, and they are looking for the word leadership. The world is hungry for leadership. And when we recently changed the brand on Toastmasters, we did research and we found that all great leaders in history choose the one. Martin Luther King, John F. Kennedy Jr., Mother Teresa, whoever it is for you and whatever area interests you, any great leader can speak. And if they can speak, they probably have an inside track at being a great leader. You see, the two go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. So I said, Stephen, what are you going to do about your leadership skills? What if you went to your boss and said, I need to work on my leadership skills? Or worse, what if your boss said to you, you need to work on your leadership skills? What would you do? Would you become captain of your bowling team? That's not about leadership. Well, my team is about drinking. That's what that is. We don't do much bowling, we do a lot of drinking, and there's definitely no leadership going on. So where would you go? But Toastmasters has this incredible opportunity because there's a track called leadership where you become area governor, division governor, and all that kind of good stuff. So the whole extraordinary experience of combining communication and leadership skills is extraordinary. So I said to myself, well, how do I do that? Where am I going to go? I got to tell you something. About a year ago, friends of mine in my alma mater were endowing a chair in engineering. Now, not engineers like your engineers, not software. These were engineers like who build bridges, you know, those kind of engineers. And they asked me to come with them to our alma mater so I could be part of the presentation. And I said, kiddingly, what could be more boring than engineers giving keynotes? Kidding, don't turn on me yet, don't turn on me yet. And they said, all right, so I didn't go, so I said no. Well, they called me after the event and they said, you won't believe this is amazing. They declared the end of the information age. Information age is over. Hasn't that been around for about 10, 15 years? Aren't we so over it? Because if you had the right equipment, you could stand in the middle of the jungle. And if your satellites were right and your computers were right, all the information of the world is accessible to you. Doesn't matter where you are, who you are, or what you're doing. So quite frankly, there's nothing new or interesting about the information age. They declared it over. In fact, we live in the age of imagination. Oh God, isn't that cool? We live in the world of imagination. So it's not about the information that you have, it's about what you can do with the information. So I'm sitting in my office, and my niece had given me a little gift at Christmas last year. And it's this little kind of artsy doodaddy thing, you know, it has a little thing on it. And I'm sitting there looking at it one day, thinking about this whole idea of imagination, and I turn it to the back and it says, here's a quote from Einstein, "Imagination is more important than knowledge." Isn't that amazing? Imagination is more important than knowledge. So when I walked in your building today, there's a quote on the wall. What's the quote on the wall? Do you know the quote?
It's about innovation.
It's about innovation. Okay. What is innovation?
Imagine.
Unbelievable. Am I in the right place or what? You are a group of people who are busy imagining. Isn't that amazing? This is going to give you the lead. This is going to make the difference for you. This is going to make the distinction for you in your career and in your future. Because, see, here's the thing. In your life, you don't need more information. You need to know what to do with it. You need to know how to present it. I'm going to give you the best secret. And he just talked about being at the conference and giving the speech to leave the room. I think he fell through the door. But he's getting the pizza, actually. It is time for pizza. But here's the thing that's just so important. You see, you're not going to remember what I said today. You really won't. You won't remember the jacket. You won't remember this very expensive shirt. And you won't remember the color of my eyes. You really won't. But you will remember how I made you feel. Either you liked me, you didn't like me, you thought I was arrogant, you thought I was funny, you thought I was a waste of time, you thought whatever you thought, you will remember how I made you feel. So when you're giving a presentation, you want people to feel something. I would hope you want them to feel your passion, because there's nothing more addictive than passion. We're still human beings. We're not from the planet Vulcan yet, you know? We still are human beings, and nothing is more addictive than passion. So no matter what you're presenting, even if you think it's something boring, because actually technical stuff can sometimes be boring to you. Sometimes. I tell you. You know, here's the thing. Okay, so Steve Jobs, don't we all love him? You know, okay. So when he would introduce something like the iPhone, he didn't say, we invented a new device that does this and this and this and this, because who really cared? What he did was he said to you, we reinvented the phone. And you stood in line all night around the Apple Store to get one, because he made you feel. So the point is to make people feel. I hope I left you with a bit of information. We're going to have our pizza now, aren't we? Or we're going to do something, or Gio's going to be doing something. So I want you to take the idea of imagination. Tell me the quote again on the wall. In the lobby?
It's about innovation.
You've been to the lobby? Okay. All right. Innovation, imagination. I want you to go back to work today and just try it on. Like, you know, trying on a jacket, trying on a coat. Sit at your desk and say, I'm going to imagine and see what that feels like to be in a world of imagination. I can promise you, it is magical. Rajiv.
Thank you for taking the time and coming here
Yeah.
and presenting to us.
Okay.
I got you a little present that I got for my last trip overseas. I hope you really enjoy it. Not the latest Intel chip, unfortunately.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Someone very special, someone who's instrumental in putting today together. Jennifer, I know you've been in the background all day, but she really made today happen. She is the person who made everything here possible. Jennifer, please come up here. Thank you for everything. We really appreciate it.
I enjoy it.
Lastly, in every meeting, we have the table topic session that I told you about. We vote on the best table topic speaker, and we give that person an award also. And secretly, we've been voting for you guys. So Clark, do we know who the best table topic speaker today was?
Yes, it's our first speaker.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Thank you so
Since
much.
you're so brave, we got you a gift card from Amazon.
All right, thank you so much, Rajiv.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it, actually. It was very informative, more than what I expected. Thank you, everybody.
Lastly, I want to thank all of you guys for coming here today and making today such a great success. We have food available, and our club also meets every Wednesday at noon. If you want more details of VP of membership, is right there in the back.
Everybody
Clark.
has the badge.
Look for anyone wearing a Toastmasters badge. We are all members. We can tell you more about the club. We can answer any questions you have. And feel free to stop by and tell us what you think. With that said,
If you haven't signed up for the mailing list,